This is the best thing you will ever do for your family. Unique styling, one of a kind. It'll need about 6 to 8 hours overnight charge off the adapter, unless you get running marathons.
Hello, Toby. It's very nice to meet you. I'm okay with this?
It's a surprise.
Dr. Milliken, I have good news. You qualify for an upgrade. One of these bad boys can do 10 times what the D-series can do.
Look, I'm happy with the one I've got.
Hello. You must be Laura.
We don't need one. You're taking it back.
No, I'm not taking it back.
I've been looking for you for a long time. You've been pretending to be so much less than what you are.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Lucky Dog Podcast. This is your host, Elias Roush. Today we are talking about Episode 1, Season 1 of Humans, AMC's new series that has actually dropped in 2015. I'm a little late on the ball on this, but I had been looking for a couple of extra different types of shows to try to start to watch. I just finished Downton Abbey. Kelly and I are in the midst of recording the podcast as we speak. Sometimes we like to jump on a new show before we are finishing the last one, so that we're not, in the awkward feeling in between of when you have like two like a show and you're in between two hype shows, but you don't know the next show you're gonna watch yet, so you got this like weird like gaping feeling that you're like, wow, I can't believe I finished all of those episodes of Downton Abbey. What am I gonna do with my life? What is even life? Anyways, if you hear anything in the background, I apologize. It's Indiana. It's our old English bulldog. He's trying to take a nap, but he has these dreams, and he's always kicking in these dreams. So I apologize if he's making a little rustle in the back. But anyways, we are talking today about Humans, the episode 1, season 1. Simply because that's all we watched. Kelly and I watched it last night. She is unable to hop on this podcast, but she may join us for further ones and give us her input later down the road. So, Humans. I have no idea, never heard of it. AMC's not marketing this at all, to my knowledge. Maybe they are. I haven't watched too much television, live television, apart from what I have to, that just plays at the gym or something like that. Just stuff plays and stuff like that, and you see trailers. I haven't seen any Humans trailers or anyone talk about it, to be honest. So I naturally was just like a little hesitant to trying it out. So I saw Prime suggesting it, Amazon Prime suggesting it. One thing I do enjoy about the Prime stick is it gives decent suggestions and stuff like that of different types of shows and how it plays trailers. The Fire Stick will start a trailer of a show before you even click on it, so it's like really convenient to you. It's mindless. They know what they're doing. So the show, it's interesting. I want to talk about the comparisons to Westworld, because I think clearly this is what Westworld is in competition with, if there is a competition, if people even think there's a competition. So I had no idea this dropped in 2015, which I think is important. So the first episode dropped June 28th, 2015. And I wonder if it dropped in America at the same time, because everyone has an English accent. Majority of the cast has an English accent. I'm guessing this is AMC in America as well, or the States. But we're hardly getting any of this type of information. I think they are any of this type of marketing for this show. They really need to bump that up. So let's run down first impressions of the show. Coming off the first little bit of it, I thought it looks pretty good. It's visually it's interesting. It's different. It's something you wouldn't expect on AMC. I know that they like to go for these high class, far-reaching genre pieces with like I talk about The Walking Dead mostly because of the numbers it pulls in. I don't necessarily think it's a great show, but The Walking Dead has amazing visuals for one thing. Let me think. They have a kung fu show called what's the kung fu show called? Anyway, with the kung fu show, people remember what it's called. Anyways, they are also trying to pull this sci-fi realm as well. So they're trying to pull in all these different, they pull the kung fu, they pull the Into the Badlands. Sorry, Into the Badlands is like a kung fu show. They got the zombie horror, and now they're gonna try to step into the sci-fi realm. I think they definitely need to push into the sci-fi realm because it's a real popular sector, and you're missing out if you're not. So, like I said, first impressions visually it was pretty stunning. For an AMC show. I have a couple problems with the logistics of how the world building is working. I don't know if we got a specific year yet. But it seems that they've progressed to the point where we have robots that are almost identical to people, with the only way you can tell is essentially the eyes and a little bit of the personality. But it seems like not much of the world has progressed. So I'm curious if we're just living in an alternate timeline where these things are just like accessible now, or what's going on. Like, I don't understand why they're still having to drive their own cars. I don't understand why a lot of the stuff at home just looks very basic and normal. Nothing looks futuristic. As if I compare this to Black Mirror, how most of the world building in those shows feel like real fleshed out worlds. I mean, everything is updated 10-20 years. It's not just all of a sudden we have robots and then our cars are still the 2015 models. Everything, it doesn't really make sense that we wouldn't be walking around with the same type of iPhone. We'd have probably something different. Maybe we're doing some sort of funky eyewear. Where's the smartwatches? There's not enough tech to compensate the type of technology for the humans. Now, I know that AMC has to kind of ball on a budget, and that's something I say a lot, just because it's all about the budget. You got to make the budget work. So I can tell that they're really pushing the visuals and stuff like that. Some of these camera angles and they're stunning shots. I remember one of the shots specifically. This is spoilers through this episode. There's a part where one of the men, Leo, played by Colin Morgan, I believe he's trying to help these I guess what are they called, synths, be freed or escape wherever they're coming from, the manufacturing place. Kind of very similar to we're gonna do spoiler alert for Westworld, and I want to do Westworld comparisons. There's almost shot for shot remakes in this compared to Westworld. The shot where everyone is standing in the line, essentially in their underwear. They do the same thing in Westworld, which I believe was shot in 2014. So it's almost like AMC got a whiff of that, and they were like, we need to take that. We need to take some of these ideas and gather them, because that's a stunning shot. I mean, all these people kind of standing there like just items and possessions and products, and then you see one standing. You see Anita looking up to the moon. It's a captivating image, and it's what they used for one of the trailers on the marketing, which I thought was pretty cool. If anyone was really interested in this type of stuff, sci-fi especially, and even if you weren't, it was just a captivating image. All these people standing there and stuff like that. It's very it's like, whoa, it'll take you right by surprise. But going along with the comparisons of the Westworld series real quick. We'll discuss them a little bit more in detail, but I'm really curious if they can match Westworld. Westworld hit a pretty high bar to my standards. They hit up there way good. So Humans is gonna have an uphill battle, but I think so far this first episode is doing a really great job of showing out, especially how smart of writing it is. I think that the writing's pretty good. So going along with the writing, I think the writing and the way people are acting, and does it feel like a believable world? Are the kids annoying? Everything seems to be going really smooth. Everything smooth as in, I think everyone is acting their part. Now, some of these parts seem a little bit cliche with the it's really clear where this is going with Anita being picked up by the husband, and the kids loving her and stuff like that. I feel, and the mom not being okay with her. I think I've seen this plot line somewhere else. I've seen this happen in another movie before, and normally we know how it ends up with normally with the mom being right, but I need to do a little bit more research to see if I can find any more specific movies or television shows that take this very specific plot, because I can almost see it happening as it's going. Seems predictable in that sense, and especially from the second marketing trailer. The second marketing trailer shows a lot. It shows essentially the first good chunk of the first episode, and then chunks of the rest of the season. My guess would be just to I don't know, entice everybody to check it out and whatnot, but I didn't want to see all that. So, but I'm checking out some of these marketing trailers for y'all, so I'm biting the bullet. Anyways, where are we going with this? Let's wrap it back to the acting. Now, I think, like I said, the acting, the kids were great. The father is a little cheesy. Joe Hawkins, played by Tom Goodman Hill. He played Dad pretty well. I loved the dynamic between his family. I thought son played it really well when Anita was brought back, and he was just like captivated by her and stuff like that. And they have sexualized her several times, and it makes me uncomfortable a little bit. And I'm really on purpose they've done it. The camera angles pan down looking at her body and stuff like that. It's just like, that's probably where these things are going to go. I mean, if once these things are actually created, people are actually going to start looking at these things like objects like that. So it's a little bit disturbing to think about. That's where we're headed as a society. But Samuel Donovan, the director of this one, at least, I'm not sure if he directed all of them. Samuel Donovan. I don't know if he directed Samuel Donovan. This might be an 8-part series. Nope. I think it's all directed by several different people. Let's see. And we have Daniel Neetham. Neetham. We're gonna call him Daniel Neetham. And Lewis Arnold. Okay, so maybe it's not all done by the same guy, Lewis Arnold. Okay, so we have about 2 or 3 different directors on the total 8 episode. Chai Mu Yang. China Mu Young. Oh, that's an interesting name. We will, and China Mu Young to bring it back in. All right. Well, hopefully she can bring the ship down. China Mu Young is the director of the final 2 episodes of Humans. And so, sorry, we went through a little scavenge of all the individuals doing the directing, but I think it is important, because if we don't, then we might just think that this is all by one guy. And tonally, it's important. Like as in Mr. Robot, you can tell when it's the fact that it's done by one guy. It's one congruent message, and so hopefully these 3 to 4 different individuals can all bring it and bring the fire, bring the heat. But we will continue a little bit with the family. The father, hammed it up a little bit. The daughter, typical, depressed as hell. Probably gonna sympathize a little bit with Anita. I kind of feel that coming. Anita, my goodness. First of all, she's amazing. They made this lady perfect. Like, not only is she, simply stunning, but she's like plays it to a T. They might actually have a robot there. I can't tell, because they must send these actors to some sort of robotic school or something like that, because just like in Westworld, this is amazing. The type of acting that it takes to act, I guess, subhuman, or not subhuman, but not even human, to act like a machine. And to act like a machine acting like a human just sounds like another level. So if you're even remotely interested in this type of stuff, you really need to check out all the different types of genres to get an understanding, like the types of AI genres, like Black Mirror and Westworld, and all these different types of pieces that show AI technology. And I enjoy how it's being interpreted on this Human show. Laura Hawkins, the mother, played by Catherine Parkinson. I feel like she's going to be doing some real ass whooping here soon. Because you know how mamas get when the mama cubs are in danger. And if she feels that Anita is a threat, it's going to be... I'm not really sure what the cocking back noises were, but the in the crash and all that, I don't know. Maybe it's the sound of a machine or something like that. But Oh, excuse me. But yeah, I've enjoyed it. I'm trying to run down anything else that we need to discuss on season 1. The kids aren't terribly annoying, and sometimes kid actors can be really difficult to direct. I think they're doing a fantastic job with them. They're not giving them one-liners like they did in Downton Abbey. Then again, those kids were much younger, but still, we saw what the Olsens did. They did great. I think, I don't know. Did they do great? We're not gonna do stuff. No, we probably didn't do great. No one's watching that anymore. But let's see. Anyone else we need? The old guy. Okay, so the cliche old guy. He kind of reminds me of the guy on Lost. Everyone loved that guy. What was that guy's name? John Locke. He kind of reminded me a little bit of a John Locke. The sympathetic old guy that kind of has these deep, dark, entrenching feelings that you have to learn about, specifically through family. I think John Locke had more like items and stuff he was collecting. I think this guy, William Hurt, William Hurt plays Dr. George McKillen, and I think this guy has some far-reaching to do, not as a character or anything like that, but as a character, not as an actor. I see this guy having to pull a lot. Just it's going to be him, and I believe this robot that is retaining information toward his wife, I believe, in something that had happened to her, I believe, maybe toward her death. Something that had to do with Odie, who was his robot at the time, or synth. And so it's been pretty interesting to watch the show, just not only from like a futuristic standpoint. I've also enjoyed it as a learning practice from a legality standpoint, because when William Hurt and Will Tudor, who plays Odie, I can't remember if it was Odie or Odie. We're gonna say Odie. The synth police ended up showing up after he had malfunctioned and whacked the lady in the face, on accident. First of all, that guy literally turned into a robot. That guy is a robot. It's crazy. The synth police came up, and first of all, I don't believe that they would let him go home. They would let him go home with that synth if they had synth police. William Hurt literally spat out that he could fix him on accident, and he was like, well, you need to upgrade this one to the iPhone X model, or the iPhone whatever model, the synth model 10, the synth model X. You gotta upgrade your shit, man, and you're being a grandpa. And he was like, nah, I'm keeping the jitterbug, I'm keeping the old school stuff, I'm keeping Odie on the low key, on the low down, keep him in the closet away or something like that. But clearly Odie is an older model. And simply talking about it and just reviewing this has me much more interested in checking out the next episode and further episodes to come. I think AMC might have fucked me with this one. Let me check out anyone else. Synth Max, that dude just looks cool. He looks like he might be high as hell, but he knows what's up, because he can see above everybody, above the clouds. I'm just kidding. But anything else? Visually, the music. The music. It's got that Mr. Robot music. They hooked me They hooked me with the synth music, and the 80s are so popular right now. It's crazy. Look everywhere and you'll find 80s and neon and sci-fi, and all this stuff is really popular. It's all a big combination jumble. Let me see, anything else? They really make her creepy. Like, it's they make the robots really creepy, and I think that's something I enjoy about it. It's something different from most television I can think of. Anything else? I bet in 4K this is stunning. I'm still on the super 1080p whatever, HD, HDR, whatever, hopefully. But I bet 4K you see everything, and I'll let y'all know when I upgrade to the next one. But simply 1080p still looks phenomenal. Now, anything else we need to cover? I think I've said that a few times. I think we have covered just about everything we need to for this season 1, episode 1. Spoiler review talk of Humans. Thank you everyone for listening. Check out our YouTube page for our entire library. You can listen to the Lucky Dog podcast through your Amazon dot. Check out, just ask for play the Lucky Dog, the latest Lucky Dog podcast, and it should play through the TuneIn application that is on the Amazon dot. So thank you everyone. Signing off. Until next time. Goodbye.
What is he?
He's the Mona Lisa. He's penicillin. He's the atom bomb.
Step on it.
You brought it into the house and we don't know anything about it.
It's a machine.
We can't keep insisting that they are just gadgets. They are more than that. We have made them more than that.
I'm watching you.
I'm watching you too, Laura. You're right in front of me.
Finally, someone to laugh at my jokes.
Anita, you can stop now.